So in this video, we are going to learn how to create event in WildApricot from Google Sheet. Now suppose guys, you are adding some new event details into your Google Sheet and you want to create those same events in your WildApricot account as well. Now guys, the manual process or adding the same event details into different applications can be very much repetitive and time consuming. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can automate this process. So the trigger of this automation will be adding a new row of data with event details into a Google Sheet. An action will be creating an event in our WildApricot account with the same event details. Now how you can set up this automation? To know this, you have to come with me to my screen.
So as you can see, here we are on Pabbly Connect's dashboard. Now to reach this dashboard, you will get a free sign-up link of Pabbly Connect in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can create your free Pabbly Connect account in just 2 minutes. And after reaching to this dashboard, just click on Create Workflow and give this workflow a name. For example, I would like to name my workflow as Google Sheets to WildApricot. And then just click on Create. Now we can see that our workflow is open over here. And in this workflow, we have 2 different windows. First one is the trigger window and second one is the action window. So triggers and actions are basically those 2 concepts, those 2 principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's begin with the trigger window. So the idea here is, in our Google Sheet, we are adding the details of the new event which we are going to create in WildApricot. So first, we have to connect our Google Sheet with Pabbly Connect so that we can get the new event details from Google Sheet in our Pabbly Connect workflow. And after that, using Pabbly Connect, we are going to send those same details to WildApricot so that using those details, we can create a new event over there. So let's begin. Now here in Trigger window, in Choose App, search for Google Sheets. Select Google Sheets. And then in Trigger Event from the drop-down, select New or Updated Spreadsheet row. After selecting a trigger event, Pabbly Connect gave us a webhook URL. Now using this webhook URL, we are going to connect our Google Sheet with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, you just have to follow the help text given below over here. So just copy this webhook URL from here and then go to your sheet which you have created. So this is a Google Sheet named as New Events. And in this Google Sheet, I am adding all the details of a new event which I want to create. After reaching to our sheet, just go to Extensions, Add-ons and click on Get Add-ons. After clicking on Get Add-ons, we will reach to Google Workspace Marketplace. And here in Search app, we have to search for Pabbly Connect Webhooks. Pabbly, Pabbly Connect Webhooks. And as you can see, Pabbly Connect Webhooks, this add-on is already installed in my Google Sheets account. You just have to install this same add-on and after installing it, just refresh your Google Sheets once. This is a very important step. And after that, once again, we will go to Extensions, but this time we will see that Pabbly Connect Webhooks, this add-on can be seen over here. Just hover on it and click on Initial Setup. After clicking on Initial Setup, now we can see that this box appears in front of us. And it is basically asking us 3 things. First one is the selected sheet. So here guys, it is most likely possible that you may have multiple sheets in your Google spreadsheet. So here guys, we have to select that from which sheet we want to send the data. So right now in my Google Sheet, I have only one sheet as Sheet 1. That is why here in Selected Sheet, it has selected Sheet 1. Then it is asking us for the webhook URL. Now here in webhook URL, we have to paste the same webhook URL which we have copied from Pabbly Connect. Just copy it from here and paste it over here. And at last, it is asking us for the trigger column. Now here guys, you must be thinking, what is this trigger column? So trigger column is basically the last data entry column of our Google Sheet. Now suppose, for example, in the background, you can see this sheet. So column F is going to be my trigger column because it is the last data entry column in which any of my data exists. After column F, in any of the column, none of my data doesn't exist. So here guys, we are going to select column F as trigger column. And then just click on this Send Test button. After clicking on Send Test, it is showing us test data sent successfully. So basically the data of the very first row after the headers which we have is sent as a test response to Pabbly Connect. So let's check. We will go to our Pabbly Connect workflow. And yes guys, here you can see that we have received some response. And in this response, you can see the details of the same first row which we had. So here we can see the name of the spreadsheet. Then we will scroll down. We can see the location, event type which we have entered. Then we have the name of the event, event end date, time, description, and also we have the start date and time of the event. So basically all the details, all the data of a new event which we have entered in our Google Sheet, we have successfully received that data inside our Pabbly Connect workflow. So the step 1 of setting up this automation is completed. Now click on this submit button over here. And after this, just go to extensions, once again go to Pabbly Connect webhooks, and this time we have to select send on event. By selecting send on event, we are telling this Google Sheet, we are telling this add-on that whenever a new data added in a new row in this spreadsheet, tell our trigger column, immediately, instantly send that data to Pabbly Connect. So we just add the data and instantly this automation will trigger. It will start, it will get that data in our Pabbly Connect workflow, and then using that data, it will create a new event in WildApricot. So here guys, the step 1 is completed. Now let's move to step 2. For that, just scroll down and come to our action window. And in step 2, we have to send this same data of a new event which we have received from Google Sheet to WildApricot. For that, just scroll down and here in action window, in choose app, search for WildApricot. Select it. And then in action event from the drop down, we have to select the action event as create event. Click on connect and select add new connection. Now here guys, we have to connect our WildApricot account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, it is basically asking us a username and password. So what you have to do, you have to enter API key. Just enter text as API key in all caps over here in this username section. And in password, we have to basically get the API key from our WildApricot account. So how you can do that? Now to do this guys, what we have to do, we just have to go to our WildApricot account and from the left side, go to settings option. After reaching to the settings page, here under integration, we have an option of authorized application. Just click on it. And here guys, we have to create a new app over here. Click on this authorize application button, select the application type as server application and click on continue. After clicking on continue, it is asking us for the application name. For example, I'll name it as Pabbly and then you can see the API key over here. So what we have to do before copying it, just give this application a full access and then just copy this API key from here and go to Pabbly Connect and paste it over here. After pasting the API key, once again get back to WildApricot and click on this save button. So just now what we have done, we have created a new app in our WildApricot account and we have received the API key of that app. We have entered the same API key in this Pabbly Connect connection window to make the connection. Now just click on save. And yes, now we can see that our WildApricot account gets connected with Pabbly Connect. After making this connection, the first thing it asks us is the account ID. So right now, I have only one account in my WildApricot account. So that's why in the drop down, you can see Papcon as the single account over here. So just select the account in which account you want to create the event. After this, the next thing it asks us is the name, that what is the name of the event. So we have received the name of the event from this response of Google Sheet. So here we have the name of the event. So what we have to do, we have to basically map the same response of event name over here in this name field. And guys, the process of mapping is very simple. Simply click on this field and in the drop down below, you can see a list of all the responses which we have received from Google Sheet. From all of these responses, select the response of event name and it will be mapped over here. After mapping the event name, the next thing it asks us is the event type. And in the drop down, we have two different options. Is it a regular type of event or a RSVP? So here guys, we have also entered this detail, event type details in our Google Sheet. So here we have created a drop down for regular and RSVP. So we have selected it and we have also received the same response over here in Pabbly Connect. Now we have to map this response over here in this field of drop down. But before doing it, just turn on this mapping button in front of it, clear the default response, and from the drop down from Google Sheet responses, select and map the response of event type. So whatever event type you are going to select over here in Google Sheet, you are going to enter in Google Sheet, the same type of event will be created in WildApricot. Now it is asking us start date, and the help text below start date says enter date and time when the event is scheduled to start. So example this. Now we have to enter the start date and time of the event in this particular format. We can't enter only date and time over here. We have to basically enter the date and time in this particular format. And you will notice in my Google Sheet as well, I have entered the date and time in this exact same format. Year, month, day, then we have a T and we have the time over here. So we have received this response of start date and time from Google Sheets. Let's map this response as well. And the process of mapping stays the same. Click here and from the drop down, map the response of start date time. Follow the same process for end date and time as well. Select and map the end date and time. Then it is asking us location. So from the drop down, map the response of location over here. Now after this, the next thing it asks us is registration enabled. So yes guys, the registrations for this particular events are enabled. So I'm selecting true from the drop down. And for all the events which I create using this Google Sheet, I want to enable the registration for all of those events. So that's why I have selected true. But if you want to check that whether the registration is true or not, or you want to add some other options or some flexibilities, what you can do, you can basically add another column of registration as true or false over here. Then after that, it is asking us for some tags. So I don't want to add some kind of tag to this particular event. If you want, here as the help text says, you just have to enter the tag in this double curly braces. For example, if I want to enter the tag as tag, you have to enter that particular tag in double curly braces. Also, by adding some commas, you can add multiple tags as well. After this, the next thing it asks us is the description. So from Google Sheet responses, select and map the response of description, and at last registration limit. So basically this event has limited seats, and also we have to enter the maximum number of registration can be possible. Then after entering all of these details, just click on save and send test request. Now when we click on save and send test request, we can see that we have received some response. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the data which we have mapped over here, basically the details of a new event which we have entered in our Google Sheet, using these details, we have actually created a new event in WildApricot. So let's check it. We will go to WildApricot, go to events. And yes guys, here you can see that developers conference. This event is now basically created in our WildApricot account. So here we have the same event name. We also have the same description, same start date and time, end date and time, and all of the details for the same. Now this means guys, the automation workflow which we have created in this video using Pabbly Connect is working perfectly fine. Now what you have to do, you just have to enter the details of a new event in a Google Sheet in a new row, and automatically using these details, a new event will be created in WildApricot. So guys, after setting up this automation, let's test this automation once. Let's enter the details of a new event in our Google Sheet. For example, this is the name of the event, real-time test. Now let's add the description as we are just testing this automation. Now after entering this data, let's select the event type. Basically what we have to do, we have to basically drag the same, and this time let's select RSVP as the event type. Now for event start date and time, what we are going to do, we are just going to change the date. For example, from 25th to 27th of December 2022. This is the duration of the event. And location is Mumbai. So just now in our Google Sheet, in a new row, we have added the details of a new event. And we will see as we add this data, instantly within seconds, using these details, a new event will be created in WildApricot. So let's go to WildApricot, refresh this events page once. And yes guys, here you can see that real-time test, this is the event is now automatically created. So we have the same event title, we have the same description, we have the same event duration 25th of December to 27th of December, and all the other details. Now this means this automation workflow is working perfectly fine, and we have tested this automation in real time. So not just these applications, you can connect plenty of other applications using Pabbly Connect. And guys, one more important thing. You will find the clone link of the same workflow in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can clone the same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and use this workflow for free. Also, let me tell you, Pabbly Connect offers you a free plan. And in this plan, you will get some free tasks every month into your own Pabbly Connect account. So if you want to try and test this automation, you can do it for absolutely free.
If you have any kind of doubts or queries, you can post them on forum.pabbly.com. So if this video was helpful to you, you can obviously like this video, comment down your suggestion, and don't forget to share it with others. So guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you. Have a great day.